Hey guys, so Diablo IV Season 5 is getting some good updates that the game definitely needs, and I want to discuss some of those changes with you here on Wowhead. They got a good article that I think you might find some value in. If you're like me, you played the PTR in Season 5 and it felt kind of shallow, kind of lackluster. It didn't really seem like it was offering all that much to this really awesome Loot Reborn structure that we just got, but I did have a conversation with the Diablo 4 team, the dev team, and they're allowing us to discuss with you guys some of the updates that they've been pushing. Now, there's quite a few pieces of content coming out in a short period of time. You got the Spiritborn embargo that's lifting for all of us content creators on July 18th. You're going to have Season 5 coming out very shortly. On October 8th, Season 6 begins. So remember that Season 5 is a 2-month season. So, Infernal Hordes is a new endgame content, but if you played it, it felt very shallow. I'm going to tell you that from the conversation we had with the dev team, they worked tremendously to try to make that whole experience better. The amount of currency you get for running the Infernal Hordes is like doubled, which is good. The Fell Council at the very end, they're dropping additional currency. So what that means for you is your ability to open more of these loot boxes, loot chests for your time spent is quite meaningful and hopefully turns out to be even more rewarding than before. Like, why am I running this? What's the point? The point is to get good gear more frequently, right? You can get pit materials. You can choose to get gold depending on the way you want to interact with the content. And that's just a big W in my opinion. But going over some of the things that are very, very meaningful, all the uniques in Season 5 have been updated, which is crazy. Now, I don't have the full list, the laundry list of all the items that they've updated and how, so it's kind of like a high-level overview, unfortunately. But the second that I find the information, you can bet your sweet ass I'll share it with you, and I'm going to get into the mode of making build planners and all that jazz and build guides to help you in your adventures in Sanctuary Season 5. But quickly, average crowd control duration has been reduced. Legendary drop rates from monsters level 100 and above has been increased, so you're getting even more legendaries. Some of the uniques are completely insane, like Blue Rose looks disgusting for Sork, and I've got a couple Sork builds in my mind already. But we're going to go through some of this, probably live on the stream when I'm live. I'm going to leave this document, this link here in the description of the video, so you can just peruse it as you're interested. But this doesn't list all of the things for the uniques that are changing, just some of them as we know them. Things like consumables, like the Profane Mind Cage here, it is now evergreen. It's going to be in the game forever. And so Profane Mind Cage, big W, makes the Helltides super fun to be a part of, and makes the mob density just feel all that much better. In addition, it now stacks 3 times, which is really good. And sort of a side conversation there, while the Mind Cage does stack 3 times, the base XP is now also increased and uncapped. So people are going to be leveling even faster in Diablo 4. So if you like playing alts, Season 5 is going to be even better than it already was, and Season 4 is pretty fast already. Endgame changes, right? Tortured Gifts of Mysteries cost to open has been reduced from 100 to 75 Aberrant Cinders in World Tier 1 and 2. So while you're playing Helltides in World Tier 1 or 2, most people play 2 at this point because you have your Renown unlocked. Now you can open up even more chests, giving you more XP, giving you faster leveling, which is getting you to the end game even quicker, which is maybe something that you're interested in. Again, the Infernal Hordes, right? Infernal Compasses drop rates has been increased. So Tortured Gifts of Mystery, Tortured Gifts, Living Steel, Doomsayer's Loot, which is something they referenced. The Explosions have now had a 100% chance to drop an Infernal Compass. Whisper Caches have a 75% chance to drop an Infernal Compass. Infernal Compasses now drop tier 4 through 8 from higher tier activities. The Infernal Compass can now be crafted with Sigil Powder and Forgotten Souls. A guaranteed Infernal Compass drop from the new quest line now matches with the world tier based on the player's world tier that completed it. So if you're completing like a world tier 4, you're getting like a 3. It didn't make much sense. And so now it's been updated, which is pretty convenient. They increased the pace at which events spawn in higher tiers. They fixed an issue where multiplayer wasn't scaling the monster health. So basically, it was always player 1 instead of players 4. So that'll be interesting to see how that is in multiplayer. The council boss fight at the end of the Infernal Hordes now awards Burning Ether, which is that currency, Burning Ether, that I was discussing. And there's quite a few changes. The Barbarian seems to be getting overall nerfed. I'm not sure if the Barb is dead. I'm seeing a lot of rip Barb, but Barb is still a fantastic class, and I suspect it'll still do okay. It won't be tremendously OP, but it will be very, very strong. The standout classes for me in Season 5, based on what we're looking for, or looking at going through some of these changes, it seems like Druid's back in the menu. Rogue is definitely doing just fine. I think the Sorceress is going to be quite strong compared to previous. Now, it might have a bit of that glass cannon feel, but that's the Sork like pretty much all the time, unless you're the Immortal Sork, which you can no longer be. So Barb taking a bit of a back seat. Necromancer looks pretty okay. I'm not a big Necro person, to be quite honest with you, but Sork, Rogue, Druid. Sork, Druid, Rogue, in my opinion. Then Necro, then Barb in terms of like power creep. That all looks really good. I do think that the Bash Barbarian non-bleed variant is still going to do just fine, but that we're waiting to see how that looks. Overall, tons of updates. Tempering manuals getting changed. Again, I'll leave this document in the description here, but this is not a completely thorough review of all the changes coming to Season 5, and there's supposed to be a lot. It's just a lot of content and a little bit of time. In this video, I want to let you know that it's on my radar, and I want to cover it for you and let you know that I'm very well aware of it, and I want to use this information to make good choices and help you enjoy Sanctuary even more. So expect another video going through all the different content of Season 5 ready to hit, and I'll put you in the best position I can to make the best choices to have the most fun. Much love to you guys and gals again. Thanks for checking out the video. I'll see you in the next one.